mics weren't hot.
Mics are on
Now they're hot.
now.
Yeah. Well, they're safe.
Now we speak in acronyms.
All right. Tyson, you ready? Yeah. All right. Have a good show. It's recording. In 3, 2.
And welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, renter, seasoned investor, or even looking to sell your home, this next 30 minutes is designed just for you. Think about it like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, but with my attorney advice throughout the show. Any questions whatsoever, people are standing by right now to answer them. Call the phone number on the screen, 407-205-0400. If you want to start a house hunt this week and you will need to get a mortgage pre-qualification, Dallas Lehman with You Have Mortgage is standing by. Same phone number, 407-205-0400. I have an outstanding show for you this Saturday. You won't want to miss a second. But first, the opening statement. The opening statement today is brought to you by my good buddy Stephen Bader with IQ Power Solar. As you know, my best financial decision last year was going solar and going solar with IQ Power Solar. I was paying $500 a month in my electricity bill, throwing it away to these big utility companies now, $50 a month. When I went to do my taxes last year, I was going to owe $10,000. But because of that tax credit for going solar, I wrote the IRS a check for $0. It felt great. Stephen Bader, how did we do it? Two major issues that we need to address today, and I think these are very, very important issues. Number one, I was around in 2006 when a pulse and a pen got you a mortgage. It was the hottest real estate market ever to that point. I would argue that right now this real estate market is even hotter than that peak in 2006. But I was also here after that, late 2007, 2008, really all through 2013 and 14 when the market collapsed, an absolute crash. Now that we're in this hottest real estate market ever, where does this market go from here? Is there going to be a crash ahead? Are we going to cool off a little bit? We're going to tell you exactly what's going to happen here in the future. Also, you want to own an investment property. You want to own your own investment property. But you also don't want to have an investment property that just sits empty when you're not there and just costs you money. What do you do right now when you want to own that investment home, but you don't want to lose money doing it? I have a solution for you. We're going to answer those questions, and we're going to do so by asking real questions. Every Saturday here on You Have Real Estate, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. Today on the show, happy to welcome back old friends of mine. Joel Lazar is here. Hello, Joel. How are you?
Hey, Justin. Good
And
to be here.
Jay Talinda. What's up, Jay? How's it
Hey,
going?
good. How are you doing?
Jay, let me start with you because back in the day, you and I were here in 2006. You were making a lot of money. I don't know about me. Then it collapsed again, and then the market just went to hell in a handbasket, to put it bluntly, I guess. First of all, how do you compare now in this hot market to the hot market we had in 2006?
You know, a big difference. So the lending is different. Back in 2006, like you said, all you needed is a pen and maybe a pulse.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
They'd pat you on the back, and as long as you fogged the mirror,
Yeah, right.
you'd be okay. Today, it's not the same reckless lending that's driving it. It's really the lack of inventory. So this is a totally different market than I've seen in probably almost 30 years.
Really?
You know, it's a lack of inventory. When I talk to builders, they are restricting how much inventory they put out due to costs of labor and materials coming up, and as well as the appreciating market, right? So there's a limitation there, a restriction going on. And if you go on the retail side, sellers say, yeah, I'm either under forbearance, so why would I move? I'm not making a payment at the moment. Or where would I go to? There's just no inventory. And you can go in above list price, cash, remove appraisal contingency. It doesn't matter. You've got at least 50 showings a weekend.
Right.
It's crazy.
So obviously a hot market, we know that. But then you and I lived through and did short sales like crazy in 2000, really starting 2008, I guess, was when it all began. What is going to happen now? When things start to cool off, if they ever do, are we looking at another collapse? I know we have a lot of people that still have the COVID moratorium or the forbearance or whatever you want to call it. What do you see happening over the next 2 years, let's say?
Well, at some point, there's a reconciliation, right? So if you go back over the years, recessions have been caused by different ingredients, whether it was the oil hike in the 70s, or it was the S&L scandals in the 80s, or it was reckless lending in the 90s and early 2000s. The only thing that's the common denominator is it always strikes when least expected. So when people get overly confident, that is when it hits.
Right.
In this case, we have so many factors going on today. And, you know, with these forbearances, it's actually a small percentage of the market. As of last week, for conventional loans, is about 14%. That's actually not a high number. But there will be a reconciliation, whether it comes that way or whether it's how we pay back the national debt. You know, the government has really incurred a great burden. And at some point, you can only kick the can down the alley so long before you have to pay the bill.
I totally agree. And I have a lot of people who come to me looking to buy a second home, whether it's an investment home, a beach condo, whatever it is, something that they can go enjoy with their family. And they're even struggling, Jay, in that market, whether it's at New Smyrna Beach or Daytona or even down near the attractions. Even those homes are flying off the shelves.
Well, and they are because, and that's great, actually, for Joel's business. Very good, because people have been pent up for a year and a half, and it drives you nuts. You go stir crazy. And so you get some stimulus, and now we're, you know, Florida thankfully opened back up. So the economy here is not nearly as dwindled as, say, a New York City or even Los Angeles, which is my hometown.
Yeah.
So now you want to get out. And you've saved up some money because you can't go out and spend, right? So think about it. You go a year without going out to dinner, and you can't get your hair done, your nails done, and if you tally all that up, you've got a nice little egg there. And as soon as the doors open and there's an opportunity to go vacation and spend some quality time with your family, you're going to spend it. That's a priority. It's great for Joel.
And speaking of opportunity, the reason why Joel is here is he has a fantastic opportunity for you at one of the best resorts, I mean, if not in the whole state of Florida, certainly in Central Florida. It's a great location, still maybe even a hidden gem to some of you, but you've been looking for that investment home, for that second home, a place for your family to go that your kids can grow up in, but also a place where when you're not using it, it's going to pay for itself or more than likely make you money. Now, this is brand new. You've never heard of this because it's literally just coming out this weekend. Joel, tell me about this unbelievably exciting project and what I think is a great opportunity for the people of Central Florida to make a great investment.
Yeah, this is the first time we're broadcasting it on TV or
Sweet.
radio.
Excellent.
So it's on your show. And to Jay's point, we're insulated. Our buyers are the top 5-10% in the market. They're the college-educated, married couples with nice net worths and good incomes. So and we saw that with the Margaritaville cottages as we sold that out. The last 4 or 5 months, we were selling about 20, 25 cottages till we sold it out.
Wow.
So, but
So tell me about this project in general. I want to make sure I understand too. So it's at the Orlando Sunset Walk, a big area there with all sorts of things to do.
Right.
And we've talked on the show before about the cottages that you had for sale, which were sort of the condo-tel model, sold out. And I was like, well, what do we get?
No, the cottages weren't condo hotel. That was strictly whole ownership.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, but they
were
there.
zoned for short-term rental.
Exactly.
That was the Margaritaville cottages sold out.
And
now we're rolling into the Embassy Suites by Hilton, Orlando Sunset Walk. And back in July, we started working on this project, and we didn't have that brand. And we basically slowed the whole thing up because they were interested. We were interested in working with them. So we've got that brand. So if you look at the Margaritaville cottages, a top 50 brand, sold out, getting the highest rates in the market outside of Disney, getting the highest occupancy in the market outside of Disney. Now you bring in the #1 brand in hospitality. It's Katie closed the door. This is a great condo hotel product, and it's probably the best condo hotel product for lots of reasons in Central Florida.
And let's say I have a lot of realtors that watch the show weekly. How, if a realtor brings people down, are we able to compensate them as well?
I love realtors.
Okay.
We're realtor friendly. We take care of them. They get paid a nice percentage, and they get treated like royalty.
Excellent. So let's look at this sort of dollars and cents, I would say, because I know exactly how expensive it is out there right now to buy a second home or an investment property. And one of the things, when you go buy the beach house, you might go on the weekends, every other weekend. It literally is just sitting there the rest of the time, costing you money. That is not what you guys have created down at Embassy Suites by Hilton there at the Orlando Sunset Walk. How does it work? When I buy down there, how does it work for me?
Okay, let me take a step back. It's a condo hotel. So what is a condo hotel? They've basically taken the ownership structure of a condominium and combined it with the features and services that you get with a resort or a hotel. In our case, the condo hotel, basically you've got the flexibility of using it for vacation or renting it out all year round, or a combination of both. I think more people are going to skew towards the rental investment. We have a preferred rental management entity. So if you're using that preferred rental management entity, they've got a multi-million-dollar marketing program. So if you own a condo on your own, you can't do that on your own. We're spending millions of dollars promoting the project. They're spending millions of dollars promoting rentals. Sunset Walk, the overall resort, is attracting more and more attention. I showed you earlier before we went on air how all this national name brand media are talking about us. We're not even paying for that. They're just talking about us. So, I think all the stars are aligned to really be a successful project.
And we were talking about the cottages before. I would always say, all right, Joel, how do you think it's going to go for me if I buy there and rent them? And you never wanted to say because you didn't want to promise. But I think now in retrospect, we can talk about the same sort of concept. I mean, they're going to do the rental for you. The cottages, if I bought at the cottages, how would my rental program be looking now?
It'd be looking really good. I did an analysis about a month ago. It looked at the pricing from the cottages from the day we started selling them to about a couple of months ago, and they've gone up. The prices have gone up an average of $140,000. So that's a high of maybe $250 and a low of about $100. So despite that, they're still throwing out the highest, where they're sold out and throwing out the highest occupancy and average daily rates in the market outside of Disney.
Unbelievable. How do I reserve a unit? How do I come down there and see them? Do I call my realtor? How does this work?
So right in the promenade is the entertainment district of the Sunset Walk Resort. Right there, 3240 Margaritaville Boulevard, we have a 6,500 square foot sales gallery. It has 2 full-scale models of a studio and a 1-bedroom. You can come down there. You can schedule an appointment, or you can just walk in the doors. We're open 7 days a week, and you'll find out all about it. Now, if you're interested, best thing to do is to secure a reservation with a $5,000 refundable deposit. If you do that, you'll lock down the price, because the prices will go up just like they did with the cottages. You'll lock down the price and you'll lock down the specific unit. So the earlier you get in, the lower your pricing and the bigger the selection you have.
I'm telling you, if you're looking at buying a second home in really paradise, and we've been down to this resort, it's unbelievable. You might even think of it as Margaritaville because that's the existing big hotel there, but the water park, the restaurants, it is an awesome place. As soon as you walk in the gates, you feel like you're in a whole nother world and really in paradise. You should see
festivities. I mean, they have all kinds of activities there.
Do you guys remember Downtown Disney? Remember Bongos over there?
Yeah.
Remember who owned that?
No.
Gloria
yes,
Estefan?
yeah.
Oh, so she has a restaurant there.
She closed that down. She's now Estefan's Kitchen in our promenade at Sunset Walk.
And that is amazing food, but the atmosphere at night, I mean, there's no comparison. It's like a club, but a family-friendly club.
Right, exactly.
With gourmet food. It just caters to every facet of life.
And live entertainment every night.
Yeah, that's right. And even outside. Still live in,
How does that work with you, Jay? Because I know you've worked with a lot of buyers who have bought places sort of pre-construction. I mean, it is an opportunity to get in early when the prices are still right.
Oh, absolutely. So, no, Joel and I are going to be spending some time together.
Yeah.
Yes. No, this is a no-brainer. It's turnkey. You don't have the headache of the day-to-day calls coming in from the tenants, as they have a much bigger budget. But again, Florida is just drawing all kinds of people in, looking for a getaway and escape.
Yep.
And so that market's going to be very strong as far as I can foresee.
Yeah, exactly. I've done research in the Panhandle, really all throughout Florida. I even heard Daytona Beach is killing it. I think people want to come to Florida, and that's why I remain bullish on this real estate market here, because we have the weather, We have the no state income tax, and really even the property taxes are low, relatively speaking, for being in a state that has no state income tax. I think the real estate market here I think it's going to stay pretty hot for a while, Joel. I mean, what do you guys see down there? What do you think is going to happen?
We're seeing the same thing. I mean, pre-COVID, we had 72 million visitors to Orlando.
Right.
And Las Vegas only had 40
Wow.
about 40 plus million.
Is that
So
right?
everybody thinks Las Vegas is a bigger attraction than Orlando is. It's
Not
not.
at all.
I think we're going to bounce back real quick. I think we're going to see 70, 80 million by next year.
Well, and I think there's another factor, if I can interject. Of
course.
There's another factor coming in that we have companies that have sophisticated labor forces moving down to Florida, right? Exiting New Jersey, New York, or even parts of California, although they go to Texas. But so we have our labor force is going to increase, which also, as you mentioned about your buyers, that they're, the
Insulated,
top
yeah.
10%, they're insulated. Okay, but now that's going to increase even more as these companies come down with skilled and demanding skilled labor forces.
Like the Space Coast.
Yes, well, you have Space Coast, and then you have other technology going down, maybe towards Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
But as the entertainment and the hospitality businesses continue to open up and expand, it'll attract the same kind of labor because you're going to have increased population, right? So you need people to manage that, to attract it and then manage it. So the labor force is going to keep that going. I believe.
You mentioned entertainment. It's funny because there's entertainment going on 7 days a week, rain or shine, indoors, outdoors at our resort. So if you're in one place and you don't like the entertainment there, you just take a few steps,
Something
and there's
else.
another place with
Yeah.
more entertainment. That's really what one of the things that we're really becoming.
And yet
known
it
for.
doesn't feel too urban. It's not
I
like
agree.
a gritty,
No, yeah.
downtown New York sometimes in certain areas can be gritty. It's not gritty. It's very clean. Everybody
very
gets
beautiful.
along. It's
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
And-
You're hired.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank
Jay's
you.
in. But when I do think about Embassy Suites by Hilton there at Orlando Sunset Walk, when I think of vacation, I think of two things, especially with the kids. One is you go to the beach. The other is you go to Disney. I think of the beach as relaxing and chill. I think of Disney as go, go, go. I think what you guys have done, and I didn't even know if it was the plan, you've created a vacation for us that we feel like we're at the beach and relaxing, yet right there to take the kids to Disney or Universal or whatever as well. So to me, it's the best of both worlds. I've always seen them as two different types of vacation: Disney or the beach, chill or go crazy. It's different there because it's both.
I agree. It's a destination within itself.
Yes.
And it's so close. I say, if you go to the fourth floor of the hotel, you can shoot an arrow into Animal Kingdom. You wouldn't want to do
No,
that.
please.
Oh,
Especially
we
the
didn't say
animal.
that.
Yeah,
Disney.
we-
We didn't say
I'm just saying the physics of that.
No,
It's
we
possible.
understand completely.
So that's how close we are.
So, Jay, unfortunately, maybe there are people still in our community who have been hit though by COVID and really struggling financially, and a lot of those people, and I know they've been in my office, and it's sad too that we're still having to deal with some of this. Have gone they've called their mortgage company, their homeowners have gone deferment or forbearance when it comes to their mortgage. What are the differences in those two terms, by the way? Because some people get confused, including me.
Yeah. So, well, they're almost synonymous.
Yeah.
But so deferral, you're putting it off, but it's going to be a balloon payment at the end of that term. So if I defer your payments for 90 days, at the end of 90 days, you're going to have a balloon payment coming due. Forbearance is a deferral, but there are different ways that we work that out on the back end. So it could be a balloon payment, because you have to keep in mind the people that are collecting your house payments, they must remit the interest payment. So you make your house payment, let's say it's $2,000, and out of that, $1,700 is interest. So the people that collect it have to pay the bondholders that interest. And right now they've had a stay. They've had some relief on that. That's coming due though.
Right.
So at the end of the forbearance, well, there's a couple choices. We can refinance your loan. We could put your payments on the back end. We can adjust your interest rate, or we can bump up your payment a little bit and spread it out over time. So we can extend your term, we can reduce rate, or we could simply modify your loan based on a combination of both, right? At some point that's got to happen.
Right.
Now, that's if your situation has not changed, and let's say you're underemployed or unemployed, and that has not changed at all, then your best bet is to speak to the lender. Right now, I'm getting 15 to 20 valuation requests a day from the banks. So what that means is the banks, they send me a list of properties and they're loans that are delinquent. They're in that forbearance or they're seriously delinquent. And I haven't had that kind of volume since probably 2012, 13. What they're doing is they're looking for your protection. They're looking to see, okay, what properties, how can we modify the loan? What is our equity? What is that house worth? So that we can figure out what we can loan against it, because the banks have rules, right? So there's qualified mortgages or non-Q1 loans. So they're saying, okay, what can we do? And who would we have to foreclose on? The banks do not want to foreclose. It costs them money, it's time, it's resources, and it just doesn't feel good for anybody.
Right.
So anything we could do to avoid foreclosure, we're starting that right now.
Got it.
So just call me, call the bank.
And sometimes,
off.
this situation is going to be a little bit different this time, because in 2008, when the market collapsed, your house was underwater. So you had to short sale. Maybe even in your head, you're thinking that your house is still underwater. Before you do anything, I would call Jay Tallenda right now, Realtor Extraordinaire, 407-205-0400, because he might be able to sell it. If you're in trouble, he might be able to sell it for you, not via short sale, and you might have a little bit more money there in your real estate bank account than you actually thought.
And Justin, I was just going to say that. So that's one of the campaigns that we're getting ready to put out is, if your situation has not changed and you do need to sell, you are probably sitting on a really nice nest egg. Take that now. Don't sit, don't bury your head in the sand.
Yep.
Take action, protect your nest egg. The bank doesn't want it, but if you don't do anything,
They will.
the bank is going to
Ultimately,
take
they
it. I
will.
promise.
Excellent job. Hey, can you guys stick around for the Real Estate Roundtable?
Absolutely.
All right, let's
How
do
much?
it. Under the table. And without further ado, it's time for your portion of the program. It's time for the Real Estate Roundtable. Every Saturday here on the TV show, I answer your questions from throughout the week. All you have to do is go to our Facebook page. You have real estate. Ask me a question there, and we might just answer it next week here on the TV show. Let's start with Lee in Winter Garden. Hello, Justin. Love the show. I watch on Facebook. Thank you, Lee. We appreciate it. How do I make money on this Condotel thing? Okay. Yeah.
Well,
simplify it for Lee. Let's do that.
I mean, simply the best way to make more money is to not use your condo hotel. Is with the number one brand in hospitality, and Davidson Hotels, who actually also manages the Don Cesar and 14 other Hiltons. So they're the guest-facing entity. This is going to be run really, really at a high level. So the less you use it for your own vacation, the more money you're going to make. And here's the other point: if Margaritaville Cottages is currently getting, and the hotel is currently getting the highest rates and the highest occupancies in the market outside of Disney, what do you think the number one brand in hospitality is going to do?
I totally agree. Sarah in Marion County, Justin, I love the show. Watch on clickorlando.com. How do I know if a condotel is right for me? What do you think?
Well, I think if it's it's really right for anybody that can afford it. The prices start for a studio at $230,000, for a one bedroom at $295,000, and a 3-bedroom at $435,000. So we're going to see appreciation. Those prices are going to go up. So the best time to get your reservation is now. The lumber prices are already high, and who knows what else is going to happen with materials and labor. That's all I can tell you at this point.
Excellent work. I think it's going to go very, very well. In fact, if you're looking to buy a condotel, I'd start now. I would absolutely reach out to Joel Lazar right now, because they will go very quickly. I think it's a great way to have a second home, but that you can also rent and make money. I mean, the way I see it is, I think that you will not just break even. I think you actually make money and have your own little piece of paradise there as well. 407-205-0400. But if you're going to do that, if you're looking for that second home, you have to have a great agent to help you find it. That is where Jay Tallenda comes in. Jay, good to see you, brother. Very same phone number as always. My pleasure. Joel, good to see you, buddy. Let's do this again soon. Congratulations.
Oh, wait, come on, let's do a group one, you guys. Let's have fun.
Congratulations. The project is amazing. I can't wait to get back down there and visit you guys. thank you for joining me. But
Thank
most
you.
importantly, thank you for spending your weekends here with me. I really do appreciate it. If you want to get pre-approved, Dallas Lehman is there at the same phone number. I'm attorney Justin Clark, and I'll see you next week for You Have Real Estate.